Hello everyone, my name is Colin Husey, and I am here to tell you the story of Norman Granz, the man who changed jazz forever. Norman Granz was an influential record producer, born on August 6, 1918. He is best known for his work with Ella Fitzgerald when he was her manager, but I am assuming not many of you know who he was. So I am here to inform you about how the fact that Granz changed jazz and music on many racial and musical standpoints while taking very little recognition for himself. Norman Granz fought a constant conflict against racism. He tore down colored signs in the clubs that his singers worked at, and he wished only for equal pay for all of his artists, and for them to never be compromised. He succeeded in changing the way that jazz and race were looked at in the same light. After all, many of Granz's artists were at the pinnacle of music, so the companies had to compromise with him, or face not having people like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald play at their clubs. Granz was known for being quite friendly with all his artists. He even got arrested for shooting dice with Ella Fitzgerald, although this was not strictly illegal, so therefore there was a great amount of speculation as to the circumstances. There was a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that the police may have been prejudiced against them for their anti-segregation actions, and Granz is to have said that the police wanted to arrest them for drugs even if they were innocent. Granz's early life was that of a normal boy in the 1920s. He was born in Los Angeles, California, a son of Jewish immigrants from Tiraspol, but later in life he was drafted into the army when World War II came around, and he was posted in the morale branch to keep the spirits of the troops up. His first big stage was at the Philharmonic Auditorium in Los Angeles on Sunday, July 2nd, 1944, as a concert called Jazz at the Philharmonic, where he hoped for a desegregated audience and, of course, artists, but however he wasn't able to because he had very little influence at that point in his career. Norman Granz was not always a very nice person to be around. He doesn't care about other people's opinions, and he can be hard on others. In fact, he was considered to be iconoclastic, independent, immensely influential, and often thoroughly unpleasant by Tad Hirshhorn, who wrote Granz's book, Norman Granz, the man who used jazz for justice. But he had an extremely good ear for music, and he had a very righteous mind to have an integrated audience and artists that at that time in human history was very uncommon. Granz produced many albums for a variety of artists, such as Count Basie, Oscar Peterson, Dizzy Gillespie, Billie Holiday, Louis Armstrong, and of course, Ella Fitzgerald. All of those albums would never have been possible without Granz, and many of them influenced jazz for years to come. In conclusion, Norman Granz was a great producer who forever changed jazz for the better by fighting the conflict against racism and never going down quietly when anyone ever tried to compromise one of his artists.